Start again, Victoria,
So waiting for another new fun episode.
of the Feel It Real Fun Show with
Live on
TTNV.
14th of March
You,
2025
you wouldn't
with
believe what that means in
TNV.
Welsh.
Yes.
TTNV. Anyway,
TFE.
TF.
TFE.
Welcome to another exciting
like
episode of the Feel It Real Fun Show. My name is Mr. 2020, and this is the amazing, the lovely, the glorious, notorious.
Notorious Victoria.
Oh, look at this. All right, so...
Cool. Oh, good. We got exciting people here already.
Right. We got excited people here already.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to do me some sharing,
Yes.
and if you can just do what you do.
Okay,
And
so
I'll interrupt.
yes. And it's your manifesting questions answered live. Live right now.
Oh, yeah, because dead sucks.
And because wrong sucks. So we do it right. Live now.
True. I said right in the shops today. Boy, that would have been a great one for our live, like for the live shopping trips we're doing. Remarkable.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Anyway.
Meanwhile, go to howtofeelitreal.com.
Yeah, get the videos there. Sign up for the email list. We're sitting on all kind of new shit and ancient stuff, too.
That's for the newbies amongst you. If you've done that, want more, go to manifestingmasterycourse.com.
That's right.
90-day adventure. And it's really fun. One email a day for 90 days. And as Rob Biggett say, what's it costing you not to do it?
Exactly.
And
JoinRemarkable.com.
joinremarkable.com.
Oh, my God.
For all the black belt stuff. And
Yeah,
people.
yeah. You know, we got a live chat that goes pretty nuts for about 2 hours a day in the morning and about 30 minutes a day in the evening. Doesn't mean you got to join into it, but you're missing out. I mean, like, God darn it, the speed.
God darn it.
Yeah, you don't got to catch up, but I would suggest joining in just for fun. And we got 2 live calls a month now. Oh, my God. All kind of other stuff. A big-ass goodie box. That's joinremarkable.com.
Cool.
So, Victoria, do we have a Neville Goddard quote
We
today?
do.
Did I do my job?
Yes, you put one in today, so
All
that's
right.
nice. We don't have to show the cup.
Beauty.
Okay, and Neville, our quote for today is, the only acceptable gift is a joyful heart. Come with singing and praise. That is the way to come before the Lord, your own consciousness. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and you have bought the only acceptable gift. All states of mind, other than that of the wish fulfilled, are an abomination. They are superstition and mean nothing.
Has anybody here ever had the battle of the mind?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did I make a video on that or a podcast or I did something with that last week.
Yeah,
It was
you
really
did
good. We sent it out to the
email.
email list, so
Yeah.
some of y'all got that.
Yeah.
Which is cool. But I want you to get the tail end of this. All states of mind, other than that of the wish fulfilled, are an abomination. They are superstition, and they mean nothing. You know, one of the things we've explored this year in joinremarkable.com, crass commercial, is that your desires are promise and prophesy. They all have their own power and plan of fulfillment, right? And what does Neville say about all their states of mind? They are superstition and mean what?
An abomination.
Yeah.
And mean nothing.
They mean nothing.
Yes.
Which takes us to Manifesting Mastery Course, week 1. We put some grit into bits there. So let's begin there. That's a fantastic quote.
Okay.
And the only gift that I accept, right, even from a flaming redhead at the store this morning.
He told me all about that one.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, baby.
Hello, redhead.
She is not watching the show.
I'm sure she's not.
I should
Yes.
carry my business cards.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
that'd be
And
great.
Slip one.
Yeah,
I'll slip
yeah,
one
here
in her
you go.
shopping, and she'll go,
Yeah.
"What's this?"
Yeah, it's that guy.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Lynn's here. Coral's here. I see
Cool.
Lisa's been sharing the show. And look at you guys. Thank you, guys.
Good on yous.
Coral's bringing people in, too.
Yeah.
So, shall we begin with
Charlie
Scarlet?
on Facebook.
Scarlet.
So Charlie on Facebook.
Yeah, he's French.
It's really Charlie. Conflicting desires? Question mark.
All right.
And Charlie asks, how do we not have multiple states that actually contradict each other? For example, happy married husband plus lover of multiple women.
Love. All right. So here's what I notice, right?
Yeah.
When there's apparent conflict, chunk up.
Yes.
Right, so we have multiple states, they actually contradict each other. So if you were single, and Charlotte and I, we had a couple little chat bits. So if you're single, I'd be saying, look, we got to approach this like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? In the morning, I saw Robin at the market today. Robin
At the market.
is
You went
Joan's
to the market
husband.
today
Oh
on
yeah,
Friday.
no, the shops.
Right.
Anyway, so I saw Robin there,
Yes.
and Robin is this lovely, lovely Asian man. And I told him, I says, look, I've been told 4 different names for you. Before I disrespect you any further, right?
What is your real name?
Yeah, please tell me what to call you, right? And so, and he says, you buy lots of butter. I says, I do. He says, what do you do with all that butter? And I said, coffee. Right? And so it's okay to have butter coffee for breakfast and a whole bunch of flesh and fat for lunch and
Nothing for dinner.
yeah, and a cigar for dinner, right? So a lot of people, when they have a desire like this, I say, are you single or married? They tell me single. All right. I mean, if you want to have fun while you're single, you imagine that. And you also want to be a happy, loving husband, you imagine that. But Charlotte's already married. And so here's what I'd notice, right? How do we not have multiple states that actually conflict with each other? Well, I get it, right? There's a conflict here. But what if you just chunked up a little bit and just experienced, what if I was 100% happy in and with my marriage? Who would I be? What would I experience? How would I see flowers? In other words, I'm asking you to see your situation different because it seems like you got two desires here. I you want to sleep with other women and be married, so you're not happy being married.
Yeah, right.
So it's sort of like how do I have a hot dog and a hamburger? Well, you can have both, right? But what you really want is to be satiated. So what if you just chunked up a little bit and like, right, as Charlotte, what kind of Charlotte would I be if I was completely satisfied with my marriage? And maybe the urge to boom boom in the room with other flaming redheads or something would go away. Maybe it doesn't, but something's going to change when you chunk up and just notice. You know what? I am 100% completely satisfied and satiated with my marriage. And you get to discover, what does that mean? What does that give life to? And I'm not telling you, be satisfied with being frustrated and only being able to bang the same woman for the rest of your life. If that's in your head, that's your state's problem. But whenever you really move into that state of, you know what, I just, God darn it. I am 100% glorious, thankful to God for my marriage the way it is. And like all the seemingly conflicting shit goes away. One way or the other, the conflict will go away. And the content, and this is the big bit, the content will do what it needs to do. So again, it always comes down to transformation of how you're looking at things. And what's your identity here?
Transformation of how you're looking at things.
Yes.
What
Yeah, this is great. So right now it looks like you've got two different desires, right? So yeah, do I get a Beamer or a Mercedes, right? So you got two different desires there, maybe. Chunking up, I just go radio, boom, boom in the room. I'm just happy. I just love my car.
Yeah.
I'm that guy. I get top shelf steaks at ground meat prices. I do it with cars. I do it with flying around the world, Rick Chard, and so on. But you chunk up and you let it be about you. So that's where we'll begin. Charlotte, you have really kicked off a great show today. We'll continue to explore this. And right, so I've screwed up the next bit. So we've got.
All right. Yeah.
Skip
okay.
the next bolt. So,
So
just go to Jason's.
Okay.
All right. So
All
that's what
right.
we'll play today.
Cool.
So Charlotte, thank you so much. Remember, we're just playing with where there's a seeming conflict. We're just going to chunk up a little bit.
Cool.
All right.
Okay. The next question is from Jason on Facebook, is it?
That's Jason from the Mod Squad.
Oh, from the Mod Squad. Double your money, dot, dot,
Mod
dot.
Squad. Maureen, welcome to the show.
And Jason asks, how would it feel to double your income while doing what you love with people you love while having double the fun?
Okay, ready? I love Jason's question. It comes off of the peanut butter principle. Right, everybody write that down, peanut butter principle, right? And so, you know what I'm doing today when the flaming redhead gives me a sideways, she looks at me, and she turns her head, and she gives me this dismissive look, right? And then it goes downhill.
Well, apparently you were then nice and said, "Oh, sorry about that." Or
Yeah,
something.
after she
Bombards
almost
through you.
smashes into me, right? I apologize. I'm sorry because I got the butter, right? And then I moved a few feet and I stopped to look at the list. And screaming up behind me is the flaming redhead and this cart full of shit that nobody wants. And I apologized because I stopped. I could have kept going, right? I didn't, right? So I apologize. And she just looks at me and she rolls her eyes and turns her head. And she goes, and now you're standing where I want to go. Right?
Great morning at the shops.
Yeah. And I get in a super relaxed state. I become Ray Shoesmith. And I go, right. Right. She obviously is used to getting her own way. Meanwhile, I'm getting in her way. So,
Yes.
Jason, double your money, right? How would you... Now, here's my thing with the peanut butter principle. This is so good. Oh, Penny, it's darling. You can add chocolat or jelly. Yeah, I was a chocolat kind of guy. So, how would you experience... Well, if you doubled your income and worked half the time, how would you buy peanut butter differently? Right now, I don't buy peanut butter anymore, but I still buy petrol. So we could change it to the petrol principle, but it's not as fun, is it? It doesn't sticky in your mind as much. So, if I doubled my income and worked half the time, how would I buy peanut butter differently? Like, what would be different about me buying peanut butter? What would be different about me? And so I go to the store. I'm making friends. I consider it a Mario Brothers game because they move shit around every week, and so on and so forth. So I go to the shops and I have a lovely time, and some of you all have joined you for a lovely time at the shops, right? When I didn't make much money at all, and I didn't have any time because I was hustling. I was working like 80 hours a week for nothing, right? All my money went into the petrol tank and takeaway food. I'd run out of money, so like I'd go to the shops and I'd buy, ground meat at like let's pray to Jesus that it's okay when I get it home, that kind of thing. I'd be looking for the bargain basements. I'd be like looking as fast as I could because I didn't have much time. I didn't have time to be friendly with anyone because I hadn't doubled my income and work half the time. But if you double your income and work half the time and double your income and work half the time again, how would you buy peanut butter or petrol differently? In other words, we're bringing this into a behavior. The problem is, a lot of people go, oh, I'd feel great if I doubled my income and did shit that I love with people I like. That'd be fun. In other words, fantasy. The power of vision has you change how you see the world. I see a shopping experience as the opportunity to make friends and smash people that want to smash into me. Yeah, I'm not mean, but I don't accept that. Right? Maybe she'll think twice before she bullies the next nice person, right? Of course, I've lifted her up since then, and while, right? Because she doesn't have to go through life like that, right? To be young and that angry and that tense, I don't get it. I get being old and angry and tense, but young, come on, right? You got a lot ahead of you. So let this be behavioral. If you doubled your income and worked half the time, how would you buy peanut butter differently? Pick something in your day. In your week. Let it involve money just for fun. Because way back in the old days, I'd be the guy going to Aldi's and buying the Aldi peanut butter that's 50% cottonseed oil and something else. And then if you go online and you look, they say, don't feed this to your dogs because it'll kill them. And I say, wow, why? Because dogs can eat peanuts. And it's like, no, they can't eat all the other shit. So maybe I shouldn't be eating that either. Tony Doyle, hey, buddy. Nice to see you.
Oh, wow.
Been a while. Love you.
Oh, you Tony.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, the peanut butter principle, brought to you by Mr. 2020 and Victoria.
TMV.
TMV.
Cool. Excellent. Thank you. 20. And thank you, Jason, from the Mod Squad for your question. Yes.
Yeah. You got to let all this become behavioral, or else it becomes fantasy, right? And it becomes behavioral whenever you experience something that changes you, right? I'm changing how I shop, right? Because my identity is different. I'm not in a rush. I'm not poor, right? I'm not projecting poverty into the next month, 6 months, or year. I'm going, radio. So.
Cool. Excellent.
Boy, that's good coffee.
Yep. Feel that butter going down.
Love me some butter, Rick. Chard.
Okay.
Rick Chard.
The next question is from Jeff on Facebook. Decide and it's done? Question mark.
By the way, Rick Chard is one of my dear friends. He's like the best internal kung fu guy I know. And he posted something here. The method is not the truth. Once you get the feeling, get rid of the method. And I got to tell you, Rick, that's been something which has given so much to me over the years. Because I teach methods so that people can discover some stuff. And once you discover some stuff, you don't got to like just... I remember that recording, Rick. Yeah. Once you discover some stuff, you don't got to force a step-by-step anymore. Because once you play with the peanut butter principle half a dozen times, you get to notice, man, I am not approaching this as who I've chosen to be. In other words, I've lost my identity. So, like, I didn't buy Victoria flowers this morning.
That's all right. I've still got beautiful ones at the moment.
Yeah, she still has beautiful ones and had shit ones at the shop. So if I'm not buying, you get the reason I didn't buy it is because from my vision, happy loving husband, the way I see the world, I didn't see nice flowers for her today, so I didn't buy them. If I saw nice flowers for her today, I might buy them, but I also know those are doing good, which means I'm looking at Sunday now. So
cool.
Not someday, by the way. Someday.
No,
someday you'll get flowers.
Would be good.
Someday she'll get flowers.
Yeah. Cool.
Someday. The power of one letter. Sorry.
Sunday from what?
Yeah, someday.
One letter.
Yeah, someday you'll get flowers.
Well, it's 2 letters. 3 letters, really. Someday.
See, one of us.
That's what I do.
One of us is an accountant. The other one's a linguist.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. You should see how we get along.
I'm going to start this one again.
Let's do it.
So the next question is from Jeff on Facebook. Decide and it's done? Question mark. And Jeff asks, talk about decide because it has been my surrender moment. Decide and it is done.
All right, so I asked Jeff, I poked him a little bit. I said, yo, Jeff, listen, and respond, please. So so we go back and forth a little bit, and here's what I notice. People tend to have hit and miss, and I want you to have more hits and less misses, right? And so I'm nuts about words that reveal process. So the word decide, I love that because it's a verb. And there's another verb that I love called incise, right? And so we have incisors, chop, 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 the tooth that consumes, right? And we also, the other day on the show, I asked Victoria, was that a call? I asked her somewhere. It was a remarkable call. How often do I sharpen my knife?
Oh, yeah, daily.
I sharpen my knife every day. I use my knife every day. So anytime I use it, I do a quick sharp and I cut. Right? Now, here's the cool thing. Decision, like incision. Decide, this has to do with cutting away. And think of David in the rock, right? He didn't keep adding shit to bring David out of the rock. He cut David out. He cut away everything that wasn't. Now, if we go back to this original quote, we're cutting away everything that's not. So I am fascinated by the people that blame my transformation on what I eat, willpower, and exercise. And y'all know, hey Joe, I don't have any willpower. I don't have the time for it. Because if you have willpower and then you have to get motivated and you have to get inspired and all these extra things that we don't need, right? I changed the way that I experienced me. In other words, when I saw that I was remembering when I was fighting fit, in the past, and it was like a romantic idealization of the young guy who could do all kind of bouncy things. When I realized that's how I'd been holding myself and holding myself back for years. I'd been making progress over the years, from like 3 years ago to a year and a half ago. I was making progress, but I hadn't been experiencing transformation. When I changed how I see me, instead of remembering when I was fighting fit, whenever I started remembering when I was fat and floggled, something changed immediately, drastically, big time. I hobbled over to the house with my stick, took some fat photos, put my shirt back on, and my whole life changed. I instantly had no interest in eating vegetables or carbs. Again, these are my bridges. People will blame the bridges, or they'll say, I don't like your bridges. I don't give a shit what you like. Right? I love eating flesh and fat cooked by fire, and I'm not blaming my transformation on it. It's a bridge. If I blame the flesh, fat, and fire, it's like blaming the Mercedes for where I take it every day. The Mercedes does not have a mind of its own. It does not take me on a road trip. I take it on a road trip. So we don't blame anything physical. The other thing people say is, I don't know how you do it. I mean, it would take a lot of willpower. Let's ask her.
No.
Right. Has it taken me 1 ounce of willpower?
No, it's not like you take sneaky bits from my lunch or something like that. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you have no interest.
Yeah, I don't look after, I don't look at what she has and lust after it, thinking it will give me fulfillment.
Yeah.
Right? I just simply enjoy eating my flesh and fat cooked by fire. That's what I seem to enjoy now. My identity has me go, that's yummy.
Yeah, because it sounds like with Jeff, for him, when he's saying, I decide, and it's done,
I'm deciding, yes.
it sounds like in that moment he's changed states. It's just like, no,
Might be.
that I don't know. It might not be, but because I know for you, it was like in that moment when you had that epiphany, it was like, no. Change states.
It's always about being done with. Neville says to bury the dead guy and forget where you buried them. I've been saying cremate them.
Yeah.
Right? Because people will drag around their old self. By the way, how do you know, Victoria, if you're dragging around your old self? Do you want to know? Do you want to know? Do you want to know? Want to know?
Oh, it's heavy. No.
Yeah, it is. It's heavy because you're carrying on arguments with it. And at some point, you may even start agreeing with it about how screwed you are. Right? That's where I was 2 years ago. Oh, hell. Right? I was pushing, but I was pushing, right? But when you make a decision, it's a cutting away of all other options.
Yeah.
I marry her. Done. Right? She's going to have to die before someone else shows up. I hope she stays around for a long time. I do a lot of investing in her. Right? I want her to stick around. She's fun. I like frolicking with her in the meadow. But to decide is to cut away. And what I notice is, and this is what I invite you to explore, when you decide something, are you deciding, it is done, I proclaim it, which I call bullshit on, or are you deciding, I'm done being that guy. I'm not doing what he did. I'm done with that. I'm done being him. There's my decision. Right? I'm done being that. Because it's all about I am. What does it also mean? There's the tooth that consumes, the incisor. We did a call on this that kicked ass.
Yeah.
Right? And why is it shin? A tooth that incises. Right? It cuts away. We can stop giving to life to what we don't choose to be anymore. And this is what I notice, and this is pretty damn profound. We always decide against.
We always decide against.
Against. I'm no longer that. I'm no longer waiting for that to make me happy. You want to know how to walk away from addiction? You stop going, I need that so I can. In other words, you're saying no to the present moment because I need that so I can. On the other hand, whenever you say, we had Jeff Nash here, who runs a rehab program in Hawaii, and Jeff was hardcore, and they say hardcore addicts can't even take you can't let them near booze, you can't let them near drugs, you can't let them near anything like that. And we go out and have a beer. He asked to buy. You guys want a beer? Sure. Victoria said yes to a wine. I said yes to a beer. We had some lovely Australian craft beers. And, of course, I got to ask Jeff, how can you do that? Because the 12-steppers all say you never can. And they say it gets worse over time. And you feel smaller and smaller and more pressure, more pressure. And Jeff gets this stuff. This is why I've done work for Habilitat. Right? Because he's building into them what we teach. And this is so good. I am no longer that guy. So I am no longer shoeless. By the way, I did this with, what do we call him, Bobby, Jimmy? I forget. Jimmy.
Yeah.
So Jimmy would walk the fence line for years, and his heels would never touch the ground.
Yeah, it was like it's permanently like.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, he had contractures, so his heels were always
but they were always
like this,
lifted.
right?
Yeah.
And I got done with that because he'd walk along, and he walks everywhere.
Yeah.
He looks like a Latin American fella. I don't know what his ethnicity is.
And it was funny
but
because
he's suntanned.
sometimes we'd drive to research and
And he's walking
there.
there. He walks everywhere. He walks
that's
miles
k's
and
away.
miles and miles without shoes.
Yeah.
And I got done with that. I couldn't handle hearing him scream. I couldn't handle seeing him struggle. I mean, you can imagine if you don't put your heels down for 7 years, that's a struggle.
Yeah.
And I got done with that. And then at some point, Jimmy's wearing shoes.
Yeah.
And he walks
Flat
barefoot. And he walks flat foot. And I even watched him sort of do the bump, 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 bump one day. And I don't know if I filmed that or not. I think I filmed that for Remarkable or Destiny or something. But it was awesome just watching him. Look at Bruce, look at Bruce, look at Bruce. So it was just awesome. I was done with him that way.
Yeah.
And he accepted that blessing. In other words, something got cut away. And they say you can't get rid of contractures like that. I mean, you look at the fascial system down there, right? And we watch him to this day. He walks normal now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
ran him over the other day.
Yeah, nearly ran him over the other day.
As I was driving up the drive, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah. He's got variable speeds too. So done with that. Shanita, welcome to the show.
Oh, yeah, Shanita.
All right. Did I confirm what his actual name is? Nah, he's not verbal.
No.
Yeah, he just screams.
We just
He
call him
grunts and-
Jimmy.
grunts and screams.
Yeah.
You make up a name.
He talks to himself a lot. He's not screaming in pain.
He has screamed in pain.
Right. It seems to be more just
Mumble jumble.
screaming and talking to himself.
Yes. Back in the box.
But it seems lovely. Yeah. Okay, excellent. So that was for Jeff. Is that good for Jeff?
I
on
think that's
Facebook?
good for
Yeah.
Jeff. Jeff, stick around. We'll continue to answer your questions and weave it into their questions and say things that are questionable.
Questionable.
Like, seriously, you should have seen this. This girl at the store who, she side heads me, rolls her eyes, and she says, "And you're in my way." It's like, right. You pushed the wrong lever.
Button here. Yeah. Okay, cool. Excellent.
Because can you imagine being mean to me? Rick can. Rick could be, right? But could you imagine being mean to me? Come on. I'm the friendliest fucking guy in the market, right? And if you're mean to me, you're probably mean to somebody who's 85.
Oh, no.
Right? And I don't tolerate that.
Yeah.
Right? I put a stick in your spokes. Y'all ever do that growing up? When as people that had bicycles, you put a stick in someone's spokes and.
No, I never. But you and.
I never did. I had it done to me. That's why I don't like bullies.
Yeah.
And she went to bully me. Yeah. You're gonna bully me, sweetheart?
Yeah.
What? I'll just dial it up.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
Please accept my humble apologies. I am the dance of humanity and divinity.
Okay. So the next question is from Shanita on Facebook. Money cycles. We've got a few money questions.
Money, 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 money. It's the first quarter of the year. It always goes money.
When does the US year start?
Oh, it doesn't matter. Well, yeah.
January.
But you have to file your taxes in April.
Oh.
So everybody's fucking nuts about money.
Thinking about money.
Summertime is when it goes to relationships. So, I'm lonely again in the summertime.
All right. So Shanita asks, life is feeling like a circle to me and not an emergent.
Yes.
How can you get back to the ongoing emergent with money in particular?
All right, I'm going to ask you to spend money. Sorry.
Yeah.
But we're going to give you something.
Joinremarkable.com.
Oh,
Shanita.
definitely join remarkable.com.
Yeah.
So, we've been exploring something called the three worlds. We've been diving deep. We've done, I think, 4 quantum calls. Those are open calls. Anybody can buy into those or buy the recordings. They're at NevilleGoddardStore.com. But let's assume there's three worlds you can imagine about. Most people get stuck in world one, the world of minutia. And here's what happens when you get stuck in world one. Let's assume you got 3 bits of attention just for fun. Right? I love the number 3 today. So you have 3 bits of attention, and they should be visiting all 3 worlds. What the fuck does that mean, right? Most people, they put all 3 bits on the world of minutia stuff. And what happens, they go, oh, wow, I don't have enough stuff now, right? And the last time I didn't have enough stuff, something bad happened. So what's going to happen next is, since I don't have enough stuff now, and I didn't have enough stuff then, and what I need is more stuff, so I'll imagine what implies more stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when you're stuck on stuff, then you end up looking for signs. The stuff hasn't changed yet. I open up my wallet, Richard, and when I open up my wallet, it makes a sucking sound. It's like, wow, it's like a vacuum, like there's less than nothing there. Right. By the way, Christina says the 3 worlds is awesome, transformative, isn't it? That is such a journey. So, world 1, it's all about the stuff. I got to change my position. I can only sit twisted up that way for so long, and I twisty up another way. So that's world 1. You imagine about stuff. Imagine stuff has changed. I find it's profoundly more useful to also include world 2. World 2 is me identity in the moment. So me in the moment. Who am I? Right? I can open up the wallet and there can be a sucking sound. And I go, that ain't fucking good. I'll imagine more stuff in my wallet. Yeah, baby, that's fun. But I have to also change, what do I imagine about me? That's world 2. Me in the moment gets, you know what? I can produce, and I'm going to go personal here because it's the only way I can teach this. Me in the moment goes, rightio. Who am I when it comes to money? When it comes to how much I have, how much I earn, how much I can give? Who am I? And I really get to explore, you know what? How fast am I is what it comes down to. How fast am I able to go, rightio? I can just explore. You know what I'm doing, Victoria? I'm writing some books. And I see how these fit into. I'm feeling a little bit of a longing to do some stage work in Australia. Don't ask me to go overseas, but it's like stage work works good if you got books, and I feel it's time to write some books. I've got like a couple books in the work, really crushing it. I've had systems built up around them and stuff. I'm just having a lot of fun taking this endless content machine that I am and creating something everlasting and multiplicative. And so when I imagine about, let's go back to world 1, I'm imagining like double man come work half the time. Yep, how would I buy peanut butter differently? That takes us from world 1 right into world 2 with, you know who I'd be? I'd be a lot more relaxed. I'd feel a lot more capable. I would be investing instead of worrying about spending. And I'd just be experiencing me in the moment differently. So I have to imagine me in the moment differently. So, happy, loving husband, totally happily satisfied with his life and wife in all kind of ways. I don't go to the shops and go, boom, shaka-laka-laka, right? I have no interest in that, right? I can acknowledge there's pretty girls and pretty
redheads.
Interesting people. Right?
That's for the earlier bit on the call.
Yeah. You'll have to listen from the top if you didn't pay attention. So world 2 is me in the moment. What am I imagining about me in the moment at any time? Right? I could imagine me as somebody who's small and insignificant and a victim to world 3. What's world 3? World 3 is the big picture. Ideally, it's about, what are you imagining about divinity? What are you really imagining about imagination? What are you imagining about divinity and money and imagination? And when I can accept I'm supported by the space, world 3 is all about space. I got a chart on this. Anybody want the chart, drop me a note and ask for the chart. When I accept, you know what, I really am taken care of. If I accept the gift of the space and the support of the invisible, I get to notice, right, well, the last time I ran into a disaster, and immigration says I'm not allowed to make money in Australia anymore, but I can still make money online, just don't do anything live. I went, rightio, what do I want to dial up? It turned out to be a project I call the Neville Goddard Project. Huh, you glad I ran into that obstacle? Right? So I didn't just sit back, let's get trapped. World one, I'm imagining lots of money, lots of money, lots of money, lots of money. Where is it? Fuck, I don't know. Right? I didn't get stuck in world one. But I imagine, you know what, making a pretty decent income and being able to buy bottled wine, not just box wine. Yeah, that'd be fun. If I double income and worked half the time, how would I buy wine differently? Yeah, cool.
That's funny. Back then, we did used to buy box wine. We both drank it.
Yeah, and we enjoyed it, right? Yeah. So time goes on. World two, I'm imagining me differently. You know what? What really means the world to me? This inner game. This inner game. Rick Chard was in The Remarkable, where we took apart one person a month for 12 months. My favorites were Winnie the Pooh, Napoleon Hill, but we started with Neville Goddard for a reason. That was a good Remarkable year. But, yeah. So you get to imagine Shanita different about money. How much is in your wallet, how much is in your bank account, how much your paycheck is or whatever. You get to imagine you differently when it comes to money. World two. I find in world two, I don't try to imagine it more confidence. I imagine it more courage and capability. Because I know a lot of people who are very confident assholes, like the redhead at the shops today. She was very confident confronting little old me, right? Yeah, that didn't work out for her, right? But it may change her life for the rest of her life. Maybe she won't bully the next person. So when you start to explore the speed of you and the speed you can play at, you're not going to find yourself waiting and hesitating as much because you have multiple speeds. And again, this is going to make shit for sense. But check out those quantum calls. And finally, what do I really imagine about the big cheese? Right? If I'm really imagining about the real cheese, I'm supported by the space. If I'm making up cheese, right, pretending that there's Bilderbergers and there's economies and it's Trump's fault and all this bullshit, and I buy into, well, it's the interested rates. I'm not interested in the interested rates, right? Like I just go, right, I'd like them to be lower. I like more money going on the house than the interest. But at the end of the day, do I think paying an extra bit of interest is going to ruin me? Yeah, maybe it'll slow me down. But then while I'm slowed down, I get to go, rightio, let me do a reval, right? And see what else can I give life to. So there's a whole bunch of semi-confusing shit, Shanita. I invite you to go to, join Remarkable. I think that's the way to go. You get a lot of goodies. And if you just want to take a few small bites, go to NevilleGoddardStore.com. Check out the 2025 goodies. I think it's called Cool Shit.
And what was the quantum calls?
Yeah, the quantum calls.
Yeah,
they're all called quantum calls, and they're all about the three worlds. And none of them will directly approach money because we're going to do one in 2 weeks about money. But you could wait 2 weeks for that, or just start playing with the model now with what I've said here and also what's in there.
Yeah, cool.
So, Shanita, thank you. Appreciate that.
Cool.
And I saw your comment earlier, Joe. Yeah, you know what? Neville Goddard says, if you believe, you will not pass another without lifting their cross. And sometimes it's just me going, I've had enough of Jimmy fucking walking and screaming and just being able to walk at one speed in the summertime. I can't imagine what his feet felt like in the summertime. It gets hot here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And I'm not tolerating that. On the other side of the coin, when the redhead fronts on me twice that fast, and I can tell she's good at it, there's a part of me that just goes, all right, here we go.
Cupcake.
Yeah, cupcake. Right? Yeah. And I didn't say cupcake. I did say right.
No, I know you didn't. Sometimes
but
you
I felt
you
like
say sweetheart.
Yeah, I did feel the cupcake or the sweetheart. But here's the thing. Like I said, I will lift her up so she can have a better life. I will imagine her friendly and fun. But at the same time, maybe she just needs someone to say, you know what? When you're throwing down, someone's going to throw back at you, right? And I'm not going to hurt you, but I am going to help you.
Yeah.
See, that's my unique thing, me and my companion. But I digress.
Okay. So, Shanita, thank you very much for your question there.
Good God, sometimes I just go, do I ever get to the point? Not a chance. I take you on adventures.
Okay.
Anyway.
The next question's from Remarkable Diane, Andrew, and the courage to trust. And Diane asks, is the courage to trust a who, a process, a vision, the same as risking rejection?
God, I read this one, and it's shown up about 7 different ways since I've read it, so this is good. The courage to trust. I love that confidence and courage are not the same thing. Right? I'm very confident that this Blue Yeti microphone will do its job. It's done its job a lot, so I can pretty much go, statistically speaking, it'll do its job today. And so far, nobody's complained about the noise. So, cool, I'm confident about that. I seem to have competence when it comes to sharing some of this stuff. To just look in something and just notice. And I look at things and I pull them apart like taffy. Because I'll take something that seems like it's a 1-unit thing and I'll pull it apart into at least 3 discrete parts just for fun. And so playing with taffy like this, I notice that courage and confidence aren't the same. Courage invites me to go where no man has gone before, or at least me. Right? Confidence. To me, it almost always hits with a thud. Having courage stretches your competence. So I get to explore where I haven't gone before and develop some new competence. And so when I trust a who, a process, a vision, I think it just takes courage to trust. And what we get to do is not risk rejection, but we get to reject who we've been. And here's the scary part. When I decide I'm no longer going to be that fat fucked guy, December 25th, 2023, when I'm done with him, that's the most liberating and terrifying moment in my entire life. Because, I've gotten good at being him. Doesn't mean I like it.
Well, yeah. And you'd adjusted your life in so many ways so that he could be.
Yeah.
That person.
I had to adjust my life to be crippled.
Yeah.
Right? And I'll use that word. I know it's not polite, but I don't care. It's the word we used as kids. But literally...
That's why you were like.
They used to sell stuff called crippleware. Right? And with crippled-ware, you might get 30 uses out of it, then it says you got to buy my shit. Right? So this is the old day of softwares, right? So you could download the software, you use it 30 times, and they cripple it. They say, yeah, it'll work 1 out of every 10 times, or just doesn't work at all anymore, so you have to buy the real thing, right?
Right.
But that was my entire life. Yeah, I adjusted to that. Moving into a new identity, deciding, cutting away that old me, I had to make a lot of adjustments. Nothing big. I just found I was no longer interested in vegetables while we have a prolific vegetable garden. All right, sorry, you have to eat them. I found that I just couldn't eat starches anymore. No interest in them. I found starches for me are memories. So when I eat starches, I just have memories. Oh, wow, pizza, gnocchi. Yeah, I can think of who I've eaten this shit with. But for me, eating flesh, it's an invitation to the present. And this is just how I explore things. But I got to let that old me die in a lot of ways. So there is risk there, right? Because you don't know all the qualities that you're going to bump into or be, and please don't define them. And you get to reject the old you. Oh my! And I still love all the old me's. I love the bedwetter. Right? I love the guy who, if Rick's still here, he's still here. I love you. God. So Rick starts buying my shit years ago. And I said, Rick, I think you really need to learn my martial arts stuff. And Rick says, I really don't need that. And I said, yeah, you do. So he does. Right? And he basically lets me know, yeah, you're good at what you do, but you're also full of shit. Right? Yeah. In other words, I know more than you do, and you don't know what you don't know. And that ain't how Rick put it. He was much more kinder than that. But I get it. You know what I mean? So I got to stop being the guy who thought I knew something that I didn't know, so I could explore something that I didn't have. And to this day, how often do I talk about like my play with his stuff?
How
Rick,
often do you not talk?
No, how often do I mention about playing with like my stuff and Rick's stuff?
Oh, yeah, well, we were talking about it this morning.
Yeah.
How much you loved it. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
I just love exploring this stuff.
Yep.
And so,
Yeah.
cool. I think that's
Yeah.
good. I'm done with that one.
Yeah.
I'm deciding.
So, courage to trust.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking actually, one thing it reminded me of, because you were talking about confident as well.
Yes.
And the difference in, and it reminded me of a call that you had earlier this week as well about a declaration and an assertion.
Yes.
Because I was thinking, like, I am confident is just
Yeah.
total
Assertion. Yeah.
Whereas I have confidence in myself is yeah, making
You're
it.
coming from a different place.
That is more the declaration. And it's also using it in a different, I don't know. I know you say you seem to be more a verb, but it's like, whatever the difference in those two words are. Sorry, I didn't really get into English, but the difference, I was the account. The confident and confidence,
Yes.
Whatever the difference is, those, but it's like totally different
Yeah.
way of being, isn't it?
Yeah. Assertions are about facts. Declarations reveal being. And as soon as I make it about the fact, Rick, yeah, all right, whatever. We're talking facts. Yeah. Versus declarations of being. As far as I can tell, it always opens up the door to some whatever fun is available. So more on that some other time.
Okay, all right, cool. Thank you, Remarkable Diane, for your question.
I love that we're having more remarkable people bring things into this.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
But I love how we also always end with Lisa's.
This is yummy.
Lisa. And we're up to the next question is from, is that flashing every now and again? Or is it just...
I'd love to know.
Maybe every now and again it feels like out of the corner of my eye I'm seeing a flash.
So my Uncle Mike years ago, so I go to the Banks family reunion at Idlewild Park because he's there. And he's not a Banks, he's a Robbins, but he's married to a Banks. Don't ask. And so I go, and we're talking shit, and he's a very smart fella. And he says, there's a book that you got to get. So I got it. Because we were talking about subliminal advertising and trance and all kind of stuff. And this book had a very interesting premise. And the premise was, for you to watch a CRT, right, a cathode ray tube, you have to actually dumb yourself down a little bit so you don't see the flicker. And he mentioned this because I told him when I was telemarketing, I got to the point where I'd walk into the room and I would see all these screens flickering all the time.
Yeah.
And I would have to dumb myself down a little bit so I didn't see the flicker. Right? And we're doing this all the time, by the way. So is it flicking or not? I honestly don't know. But one thing I do notice is when you allow yourself to have variable speeds, world tune, all kind of shit shows up in the world of minutia that they'll assert that's a constant. You look at a TV, it looks like it's a constant experience. It's not. It's 50, 60 frames a second, something like that. On the other hand, you get fast enough, you start seeing the flickers, and they'll drive you nuts. So you get to like dumb down a little bit and then just enjoy the show. It's not a metaphor, and it is. I just love shit like that. Anyway.
Okay. And the last question today is from Remarkable Lisa and LaRoque. Ask the beautiful question. And Lisa asks, hello 20 in Victoria. Years ago, when I first saw the epic classic movie Gone with the Wind, the character Melanie disturbed me in her sweetness, seeming innocence and tolerance for the questionable behaviour of those around her. She didn't allow the actions of other characters to alter her gentle and gracious nature. Wow.
Yeah, given my experience.
Not like me, but anyway. I actually was having inner arguments, justifying how impossible and unreasonable it was to be so pure of heart.
Nice.
Finally, I decided to stop this conversation and asked the beautiful question, is there a Melanie in me? At the time, I felt too much like a Scarlet. Just as 20 mentioned in a post, I ordered, then waited. Really forgot about it. Recently, I was with a client. They looked me in the eyes and asked, "Why are you so sweet?" Oh, I was startled. Yet in responding, I found I had lived into the answer
Yes.
of my beautiful question from years before. My desire to know if I too could be a woman of sweetness, softness, and integrity. I gave myself opportunity to find my Melanie in difficult situations. I chose love, one choice at a time, revealed a new me. Neville said, "The fundamental story of Scripture is a metamorphosis, a complete change in form." He also asked, "What would I be if I were of eyes too pure to behold iniquity?" Please share your thoughts. Thank you, Lisa.
All right.
What's iniquity mean? I think I've asked this once before. What does iniquity mean?
If we take it up to the top, quote.
I think it is of like just being, yeah, pure of heart. Or, well, anyway, sorry. Yeah. Oh, the very top quote.
Yeah.
All right. So, yes.
Oh, I didn't include the second part. Okay, well, come with singing and praise. So we get to see only the lovely. So we're exploring James and John. James this month, John next month, but they walk hand in hand, so we can't get one without the other. When we're capable, so when we are willing to live up to our real abilities of everything, of anything. So Lisa says sin.
Oh, right. Let me just, right. So, what would I be if I were of eyes too pure to behold sin? Yeah, right.
So me and the redhead have a seeming conflict this morning.
Mm.
And when I say to her, right, yeah, I'm letting her know you don't got to be that way. And it's not a good idea to be that way. And I'm not threatening her. It may have felt like that to her. I don't know. But it was an invitation. And this is what, hey, Frank, this is what's so lovely to me. When we stop judging, we can't help but notice there's a being in a state. And if I'm being in my state and they're being in their state, and I actually remember I am being in a state, and they being in a state, I can lift that being instantaneously, spontaneously, and what needs to show up shows up. To me, this is the most profound gift that we have because it reveals what we are. The girl this morning at the shops, by the way, I had no idea I was going to talk about any of this.
Yeah, well, it's
but
almost
it's so
you had
there
that experience
for
because,
this question.
Yeah.
I don't dare judge her. I've been her.
Yeah.
And having been her, having the realization of, I don't have to be like that. Why'd I take it out on that guy? Or an old guy, or a 7-year-old, or whatever. And when we don't judge, Neville says, be angry, but sin not. Yeah. Yeah. Come on. If we can let whatever the emotion is pass through, get experienced, not hold it back or deny it, we can't help but be loving and lovely. When we have to judge, we're going to have incessant inner and outer arguments, and we're going to seek agreements. Hey, me too. I'm with you. Right? All the time. Inner arguments seek agreements. People to agree, so there's more people having the same argument. And that's not where the power is. Or the power is in pivoting. Uh, Being able to pivot, you think about a top that spins, it's not stuck in place, it's in continuous motion. And what we are, I love Bucky Fuller's thing. Bucky was also in That Remarkable, right, Richard? So I think it was Neville Goddard, Napoleon Hill, Werner Erhard, Bucky Fuller. Somewhere along the line, we got to Winnie the Pooh. I love Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, me.
When we're not judging, I can't hold it against her. She's judging the world, the business, me, and then taking it out on me, and I just go, right. It's a wake-up call. It's not a threat. It's that I don't accept that, and I don't accept you being like that. Right. Everyone's got their excuses. I'm the reason why she's upset. She was upset way before she met me. Right? I watched her. She was already in an upset, and she gets to take it out on me. I mean, can you imagine
It's
taking...
exactly like Lisa said, that I can't find it exact where it was here, but that she was like she had too many inner arguments. There was the inner argument bit,
You betcha.
and it's like that opposition going on inside yourself.
Yes.
I've noticed for me, like at times when I felt I've been angry or something, it's because I realised, it's the anger in me. Like, obviously,
Yeah, totally.
you track where you are.
Yeah, I get to notice, right? I can sit in, so we got two Ames chairs behind us, and we sit at night and watch TV, and I can sit there and go, God, I don't know why she's pissed, right? And then discover she ain't. She's having fun with Emmett. She's laughing at the show, and I'm inside going, I don't understand why she's pissed. All right? Now here's the thing, ready? It ain't her.
No.
It ain't.
No, of course not.
Right? You know
Yeah.
that whole thing Grandpa used to say, Rick Jard? If you leave the house and you encountered an asshole, you encountered an asshole.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Neville would say, lift them up, and I agree. But if you leave the house and you encounter asshole after asshole
Everyone's
after
an
asshole, if
asshole.
everyone is, guess
You're
what?
the asshole.
Right? And the faster you can notice that and not judge you, the faster I notice it and stop judging me,
And love me.
I stopped judging her because she was never there to begin with. It was all an illusion that she's mad. I'm in there going, yeah. Oh, what a hoot.
It's like moving it from world one to world two, recognising what's in you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was making it about the minutia of her.
Yeah.
And it's really, you know what? It's me in the moment. I'm stuck at a speed. And I'm not open up to the space that we share, which is love. Wow. But whenever you can have all three of those dancing at all times, God, do you see how upset I am that a redhead was mean to me today? Whatever. I got a great teaching story. I'm thankful for it. And she might be thankful too. I hope so. I imagine that she's having a better day and a better life from here on.
After
Amen.
bumping into you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And letting all three worlds do their thing. The world of stuff, imagining yummy for that. The world of me in the moment, imagining accepting as true, yummy for that. I can't help it because I know the Prince of Peace. Right? And it never has you chasing after pieces of the pie. So, see, that just shows up. I think I'm done. What do you reckon,
Yeah.
Victoria?
Yeah. Thank you very much, Lisa. That was ace.
Ooh,
And what we want to know is tell us,
Wow, you got it all
what
organized.
was your hashtag? Whoops. Oh, dirty fingers from the garden. Hashtag strawberry bits.
Nice.
What was yours, babe?
I just love how they all weave together. You know, like all the questions, my morning experiences.
Yeah.
There was a smaller version of me that would go, right, we have a show on a Friday morning. I need isolation and focus for 4 hours before. And others are making a bunch of things false gods, right? I need time. I need quiet. Let's make sure everything's turned off. No giggling over there in bed, Victoria. Like, no, I need serious before the show, right? There's an old me that used to live like that, right? And this, I don't even know if you know that guy, but I've been that kind of guy. On the other hand, it's like, rightio. I was rebuilding my schedule this morning, and I thought, what if I opened up a slot around 6:30 in the morning on a Friday for one-on-one calls? All right, just for fun. And here's why. I think it would give to the show. Anyone who would manage to stumble into a 6:30 to 7:30 or 6:30 to 7 slot in my life before a 10 o'clock show, it couldn't help but give to the show. So I can just imagine I get up at 5 like I do. I get my shit rolling, do some writing. I got a call. I get on the call. The call has to give to the show. So I'm opening myself to more giving and being given to. Why the hell not? Playing with different speeds, opening up different opportunities. So that's not on the cards, Victoria. Just did that this morning. She gets the updates live.
Yeah, I do. It's like, all right. It's like you said the last week's show or the week before that about how, oh yeah, and we're doing this course in April. What course?
So you know, real quick, anybody want to hear about spirit animals? So we all have a spirit animal, right? Mine's slime mold. If you Google slime mold, it's the coolest shit in the world, right? Like it's slime and it's mold, and when there's nothing left, it takes a walk. It goes on a walkabout. It'll move 5 or 10 feet and go, oh, I like it here. It's the coolest stuff in the world. So my token animal is slime mold. Victoria's is a mushroom, right? Yeah, she's always in the dark.
Yeah.
let's.
Well, that would be true.
So anyway, yeah. Victoria, what was your strawberry bit?
I just love actually how you had that experience this morning. You met Scarlet. Your redhead was the Scarlet from Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, see, I didn't know that.
And
nice.
How then it comes up in Lisa's question. I just can't believe, and it's so great when you always do bring real life to the show, to your calls, to whatever, and it's so relatable. It's just ace.
Do you realize what you just said? Scarlet. Scarlet is red.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I didn't get that. I didn't get that at all. But and by the way, I've never seen this girl in Kohl's before. Never. I know the Kohl's employees. I'm there twice a week. Remarkable kids are there with me once a week.
Yeah.
Right? I've never seen her before. And Scarlet's in the store. That's my strawberry bit now.
Cool.
And the fact that I missed it.
Yeah.
Good on you, Victoria. All right.
So
Scarlet. We're gonna have to rename. We're gonna name this the Scarlet. We'll name the show the Scarlet Letter.
So we're not going to say you're manifesting questions.
Oh yeah. You're manifesting questions. The Scarlet Letter edition.
Hyphen the Scarlet Letter edition.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a lot to fit in. I'll see how I go.
Yeah, she can do it.
Yeah.
I've got confidence in your competence.
Great. I'm confident I can do it.
Just do something.
Yeah. They were our hashtag strawberry bits. While you type in yours, go to
joinremarkable.com. What the hell, right? Like seriously, $100 a month. If you pay by the year, $200 a month if you decide you don't want to. By the way, somebody said, well, I'm already in. Is it going to be $200 a month? Yeah, if you're paying $100 a month and you're in already, I'm not changing your rates. I'm not changing anybody's rates. I'm just dropping our paperwork.
Yeah. So
join for the year. It's $100 a year. Join by the month. It's $200 a month. Because it takes time for her to do paperwork, and I got to chase people. So I'm not doing it no more.
Yeah.
Right? I'm decisive there. And by the way, get what I'm doing? If you're decisive, you get a big-ass goodie box instead of a little one. You get a bonus one-on-one, and it costs half price. It's called Decisive. Yeah, I think that might give to you. Scarlet.
Cool. And for refunds, visit our YouTube channel, feelitrealfun.com.
All right. I love you, Victoria.
I love you, babe.
Could you imagine? She comes out to meet me at the car when I get home. And she goes, hey, how'd it go? And I says, oh, you wouldn't believe it. And she goes, oh, dear. Here it comes.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Have a great day, gang.
a
Love you
great
guys.
weekend.
Thank you all for your questions, your comments, and for being you are
And being here.
wonderful. See ya.
Bye.
And we